Up next on The Bottom Line, the treacherous waters of the Potomac claimed 2 lives this week, and officials say these tragedies are preventable. A look at a county program that repairs library books and lives at the same time. And whoever coined the phrase the lazy days of summer didn't meet these Montgomery County kids. We'll tell you what they are doing to keep themselves busy this summer. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. Believe it or not, one of the deadliest stretches of water is right here in our own backyard. And recently, 2 young men lost their lives in that water that has become so popular with kayaking, fishing, and hiking enthusiasts. The Potomac River Gorge and the Great Falls of the Potomac are the focus of an annual campaign to raise awareness of this dangerous section of the river. A picture-perfect day at Great Falls, but looks can be deceiving.
More than half of all river-related injuries in this 14-mile section from Washington, D.C. to Great Falls Park end in death.
Just ask these young people. On a recent hot sunny day, they innocently decided to take a swim in the Potomac River, only to be quickly overtaken by the swift-moving waters.
I kind of got caught, and Heather really stroked hard and got out quickly. I got caught in the middle for like a few minutes, I think. The water is not peaceful as it looks. It is lethal.
With the warmer days upon us, local fire and rescue officials and the National Park Service want visitors to be safe and responsible at all times around the Potomac River.
As we're getting more and more people coming to visit the parks and come down, it's a beautiful scene next to the water, and it's very inviting, especially when it starts to get hot. So they want to try and get in, cool off, and they think it doesn't look so bad, and it's deadly.
Swimming is not allowed in the park and along the Potomac River Gorge, a 14-mile stretch that extends from the Key Bridge north to the falls. And we got a first-hand look at the treacherous current.
There's a lot of undertow and undercurrents here. As you get underneath the water, the current's not flat, the current's churning constantly, so you can get sucked underneath and pinned underneath real quickly. And once you get down there, the force of the water and the current of the water will hold you and just stick you against the rocks, and there's no getting out from that point.
Ken Andrews has been kayaking on the Potomac for 14 years. As a member of the Potomac Paddlers, he has seen his share of visitors who make bad decisions.
Out on a cold October day, the last day you would ever expect to find somebody swimming, somebody had also swum out to the island, got cold, and was afraid to get back.
Yeah.
So I had to give him a ride on the back of the boat.
There are many people who say Great Falls is the most beautiful and majestic sight in our region. But these young people say, don't be fooled.
It's weird thinking someone like you just saw them, you were just laughing in the water, and then, because we didn't get in very far. We thought it was a nice, calm place, but there's really no safe place on this river.
Over the years, Montgomery County zoning code has become overly technical and difficult for the average citizen to understand. But that's about to change. The bottom line, a proposal to revise the code to make the document clear, consistent, and user-friendly. The Council's Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee is continuing its work on the rewrite of the county zoning code. The revised code will reduce the number of zones, clarify uses for each zone, and rethink existing commercial strips and office parks.
The whole point of this is to straighten out a very lengthy, cumbersome, and complicated document that has a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of anomalies, and a lot of things that are just really out of date for controlling the future of development in Montgomery County. I'd like to think that when we're all done with this, and it's taken a while, we're listening to everybody, we'll have something that's clearer, easier to follow.
Included in the committee's latest discussion, whether developers should be allowed to have more density in their projects if they agree to provide additional moderately priced dwelling units or public benefits like parks and open space.
What they're proposing is to continue the existing rules on top of the new zones that prioritize our commitment to seeing more affordable housing. So right now, you can build over a certain level if you provide XYZ amount of affordable housing. And that continues through with this. What we're finding with the rewrite process, a lot of people didn't know what the current rules are. So they're a little surprised about this and worry about how this affects their expectations. And what we're being told by the planning people is actually that's what we've been doing all along.
Fed committee members are also evaluating changes to employment and industrial zones in the county. The rewrite proposes 3 new employment zones created with the intent to reduce dependence on cars by providing employment areas with supporting residential and retail uses. Also included are 3 new industrial zones, light, moderate, and heavy. Like the employment zones, the industrial zones do not specify a mix of commercial and residential density allowed.
We're looking at what the planning board is proposing. They're proposing to redefine some of our employment zones and industrial zones, and I'm sure we'll have a lively conversation about what does that really mean and what are we achieving here.
The full council is expected to take up the rewrite proposal later this year. Each year, Heritage Montgomery celebrates Heritage Days. It's a chance for visitors to visit the sites that represent the history and culture of Montgomery County. This year, one activity that drew a lot of attention was the real-life commemoration of the 150th anniversary of Confederate General Jeb Stuart's march into Rockville on his way to Gettysburg. We got some FaceTime with Jeb Stuart as he and his men rode into town and rounded up Union sympathizers at Christ Episcopal Church.
A number of Southerns have been arrested in Virginia, and we hope to take some prominent Unionists in here in town to exchange for those. I'm Major General Jeb Stuart, and I'm here because on my ride to Gettysburg, I came to Rockville, Maryland. I captured 125 wagons, $40,000 in U.S. currency and $20,000 in gold. I am Major General Jeb Stuart of the Confederate Army, sir.
I'm Benjamin Brown. I'm the rector of Christ Church.
Sir, you have nothing to fear from my men or me, and took about 6 prisoners. So my only intention, sir, is to take possession of these men.
They've sought asylum here in this church. But...
Sir, please send them out so that I don't have to send my men in to desecrate your church. So, Union dignitaries, a judge.
I'm Judge Bowie.
Judge, you're my prisoner now. Postmaster, you will be treated fairly, kindly, and with respect. Town councilmen that I had originally planned to take as prisoners in exchange for Virginia citizens that had been detained by the U.S. authorities back in Virginia. Dora, we'll take good care of your husband. No harm will come to him.
Can't I even tell him goodbye?
You may, ma'am.
Take care of the children. I am John Higgins. I'm ready to go.
John, have you heard what I've told these previous men?
I have, sir.
So you will be accompanying me until we can exchange you for some of our Virginia citizens. Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you.
I will remember our neighbors who gave you that list.
Let me caution you that I can come back. I can roam pretty much freely at will. So if you harm my friends here, then I will be forced to harm your friends.
He found that when he started marching them north to head out to Gettysburg, they were more of an impediment than a value. So he let them all go on June 29th, only a couple days after he was here. Let them all go, and they all came back to their friends and family and homes.
You really do have a lovely little town here. I do hope that I get to come back and visit again someday.
A unique partnership between Montgomery County Corrections and the library system is getting a lot of positive feedback. The program enlists inmates to repair old, worn library books that would otherwise be taken out of circulation. We took a trip to the Clarksburg jail to see for ourselves just how this program was working and found its benefits to be far-reaching. It's all about second chances. That's what the library book repair program at the Montgomery County Detention Center gives these inmates. Older, well-loved library books are finding new life thanks to these helping hands. The restoration project is the brainchild of Warden Rob Green.
It's been very successful. Books that were otherwise going in the trash or maybe had one more life cycle out of them with some tape placed on them by an already overburdened librarian, we're putting back into service. So what we've seen, the feedback we've gotten is that the library services, the librarians love it. No one hates probably any more than them to destroy a book or get rid of a book. We're putting books back in print. I'm told we're putting books back into print that are no longer available.
In a room within the jail, a long table is covered with books in need of help. Some need new spines, pages taped, and just a general cleanup. The men who participate in the program work 5 days a week and have to be interviewed before getting the job.
A lot of these guys have never worked in their life. So what we do is try to create a work atmosphere. You know, when you're working, you have to come to work on time. You have to be productive. If there's something we need to get out, we need to get it out. It needs to be of quality. You need to learn to be able to take directives, constructive criticism, and work with others.
Tell me how you feel once you fix one of these books. Does it make you feel, like you've accomplished something?
It feels good knowing that we could help out somebody who needed something fixed, and the sergeant gave me a chance to come in here and see if I was able to work, and I've been doing well so far, so I like being in here.
So far, the program has saved the county more than $20,000 in books alone. In the beginning, inmates were repairing 1 to 2 boxes of books per month. Today, they get as many as 55. Though most jails experience a high rate of recidivism, Warden Green would like to think this program could help chip away at that statistic.
Some things are self-evident right in front of our face. That if we have a person that is creating a tangible product, giving back to our community, we're saving money. That's real. They're doing it in a productive way. They're not creating violence inside a jail, okay? It worked. It worked right here in front of my face. I didn't have to look at any statistic. For that moment and that point in time, the system worked.
Most kids won't argue when you say summer is the best time of the year. And for some Montgomery County kids, summer camp can be a memory maker. For this week's Montgomery Moment, we visited a couple of the programs offered this summer through the county's rec department, where they are training future Olympians and future Broadway stars. There are no summertime blues at the MicroStars camp in Germantown. These future athletes were winding down their day of activities with a game of sharks and minnows on land. It's part of a 2-week camp through the county's Department of Recreation that focuses on fitness.
Well, see, we have 5 to 8-year-old children, so we try to instill basic fundamentals of all the sports. We give them the fundamentals so they can go on and be better when they get older.
Montgomery County Recreation Summer Camps is one of the most popular and ongoing recreation programs in the county. The county offers dozens of camps that run into the month of August. And tell me a little bit about this game that you're playing here right now. What are you guys doing?
We're running across, and if we get tagged, we have to sit down and be a robot and try to tag people.
This is your first week, right?
Yeah, it's my first week.
What's the best part of it?
My best part of this is when we do running games, and I win, and then I get to tag other people, and then also I like Jump the Creek. It makes your legs get more muscles, and it stretches it out.
So you're a pretty fast runner.
Yeah.
Is this better than being in school?
Yes.
We're going to pick up on page 40, scene 4 for Wonderful.
These young actors were participating in a theater camp.
I'm setting those monkeys free, and don't try to interfere or call the guards.
The production in the works for this rising generation of stars, Wicked.
You really were wonderful.
This theater camp is an opportunity for students who are interested in theater to come in and show their talent, and this group is amazing. I've been working here for 7 years. This is, I think, my 3rd or 4th as director, and it's really especially nice to see all our returning campers, and they just really come here to have a good time and put on a great show. We always get lots of great compliments, and it's wonderful to see them shine at the end.
Perhaps you recall my essay, Magic Wands. They have a
There is still time to register for future sessions this summer. Just visit the county's website at montgomerycountymd.gov/rec. Well, that's all for this edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Have a great week.